Okay, it's 5:30. We're going to go ahead and call to order. Can we get a roll call, Melanie, please?
Watson,
Here.
Priest, Paul,
Here.
Maxwell,
Here.
Lamb,
Here.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lawson,
Here.
McKnight,
Here.
Prophet.
Okay, first up is approval of the August 4th minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look over those? Is there any issues we need to change?
I didn't say anything. Move to accept the minutes. Second.
Okay, let's take roll call.
Do that.
Let's see, Lawson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Watson.
Yes. All right, first up, we have the waterfowl blind naming request. Kelly Mulholland, we have
Yes. Well, so this is just kind of sewing up the loose ends on this. So last time we talked about what it is we're doing and what it is we're trying to build and why and all that. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anything arises. We're moving right along. Fundraising is going very well. We have a good plan. We're going to meet with the park staff here on Thursday and iron out some of the last minute details and start construction, we're hoping by November 1st. So as far as the naming goes, I think the main issue is the title and why the group involved with this would like to call it the Page Mulholland Waterfowl Blind. And so I can explain, that's my father, first of all, and I'm very proud of that. He had quite a contribution to the Botanical Garden of the Ozarks and to the community, the birding community here in Northwest Arkansas. And originally in the 60s, he was a history professor at the University of Arkansas. And then he pursued an academic career, administrative career that took him all over the country, but returned to Arkansas with my mother in 2002. And when he got here, the Botanical Garden was a fledgling operation with very little on the ground. And they needed a director. They needed somebody with that kind of expertise. And my father stepped in and volunteered to be the director since they had no funding for such a thing at that time. And did that until finally they did have funding to hire a director proper. And so he did that during their formative years, and then he became a board member after that and continued to be involved as long as he could. He passed away a couple of years ago now. My mother and father created the native plant garden at the Botanical Garden. They co-created the butterfly garden there. My mother continues to be the kind of run the butterfly garden more or less.
I was cleaning it.
She's a butterfly nanny, among many other things. In fact, in her house, there are monarch chrysalis scattered around the house sometimes. So, and he also, as soon as they got here in 2002, got involved with the Northwest Arkansas Audubon Society and became active members. My mom and dad were both lifelong bird enthusiasts and forced me to do the same. And now I do it willingly. So basically, that's it. I'd be happy to answer any other questions, but basically he was just a popular person among the birding community, and his name came up. David Chapman is actually the one who brought his name up as a good title for this project. And I know my father, well, another thing I should probably mention is my father had a dream that is well known among the BGO board, and that is to incorporate elements of birding into their facility. And that was a dream of his that really wasn't off the ground at that point. So this is a really good first step in that direction. And the technical thing is just having to do with the configuration of the sign. Our member Bob Kalk looked into that and has said that what's most appropriate for this signage would be bronze, 1 square foot, which could either be 8 by 18 inches or 6 by 24 inches. And that's what we're requesting.
Did we get any response about the naming?
We have not received any, so that's why we tabled it. I haven't heard.
Is there any public comment? Anyone like to contribute?
One thing I almost wanted to mention also that at the last meeting, you requested that we have a signed document about maintenance from the Northwest Arkansas Audubon Society. And I wanted to make sure everybody realized that that has been taken care of and that Connie has that document.
It's in
It's
their
in the
packet.
package.
Okay,
We were good with it.
good.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the naming of the Page Mulholland Waterfowl Blind at Lake Fayetteville and to approve a maintenance agreement with the Northwest Arkansas Audubon Society.
I'll second it.
Second it. Can we get a roll call, please?
Lawson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Mm-hmm.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Watson.
Yes. Thank you.
So this will go before city council next to officially name it.
Okay, and should I be there for, I assume, to answer questions, make a
We'll get
statement?
with you. Get on the next. I don't know what agenda session it is.
It won't be this, it won't be tomorrow, it'll be the next one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
October
Is it
7th,
on October 7th meeting?
whatever the next one is.
The next announcement, not this week, but the next, and that's for the October 7th meeting.
Okay, so,
Perfect. Yeah, thank
Got
you
it.
very much.
Thank you.
thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Next up, we got Park Land for Cedar Springs Trail easement, and Matt Mihalovich, you gonna talk to us a little bit about that?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, as you guys may be aware, we're working on a trail to connect up the new regional park. It follows along the Cato Springs branch. A lot of times we see when developments come through, we talk to them about providing easements or different things. And we had a property owner called Mood Distributors, and they're building actually a building right now on Cato Springs Road. But they own quite a bit of property. And at first I approached him about an easement. He said he really would like to donate the property to the city. And it's about 7 acres. A lot of it's riparian creek corridor, located on this map right along here near the railroad tracks. And so we had park staff look at the property, and it looked fine for having the, you can see it here, this in this yellow on the map, almost 7 acres. The trail would be on the north edge of it, keeping it out of the stream area and stream side protection zones. So it's all working out pretty well. One thing that the developer would like is credit for tree preservation within this, which actually kind of aligned with the goals of what we were thinking for the property is preservation as well. Except for the trail corridor itself, we would exclude that. The only thing we hit is a little issue with timing. In order to get credit for the tree preservation area, the developer needs to actually own the property at the time when he is building. And so he's not quite ready to build the rest of his projects yet. When he is ready, we would establish that tree preservation area and then be able to donate to the city. So that, it's just kind of a chicken and egg kind of thing, I guess, more than anything.
So you'll come back to donate, to do it whenever
Well,
he does
we were
it?
kind of wanting just to see if you guys were okay with it in general. And then we put a time period of 3 years. So like within the next 3 years, he comes back, he's ready to go with the tree preservation. We're ready to accept the donation. It'll just go through. After 3 years, we need to come back to you guys, is what we're thinking, just so it's not forever and ever out there.
And meanwhile, he might have to go ahead and get a trail easement through his part. He didn't want to give the city an easement if we weren't going to take the donated property.
So he feels better with you guys saying, yeah, we'll take the property. Then he'll actually give us an easement just for by the time, you know, that we can get the trail built.
The other thing is this would have, if we would not have taken that property, it would have split his land. I mean,
Yeah, and that's something we do
Yeah.
sometimes where a trail would sort of bisect the property and it's not so good.
Now, I missed the part why he couldn't just bank that.
Yeah, it's not allowed by ordinance. Because Allison may be able to.
It's not allowed to bank,
A tree-
Banking tree preservation is not really
really?
allowed.
The
But you can
parkland.
parkland dedication.
Parkland we can, but is specific in our ordinance that states they can do that.
Well, you
Do
have
we
to
recall
own it.
why?
You have to, so, to do off-site preservation, for tree preservation, you have to own the land. So if he went ahead and donated that to us now, and then came forward with the development in 2 months, he wouldn't technically own it, so he wouldn't get that credit.
Okay.
Technicality there.
Mhm.
Well, what's going to be in his best, I mean, I hate for him to do this and then on technicality, him not get any kind of credit. I mean, is it?
Yeah, that's why we just want to wait. So
Right.
he's going to hold on to ownership of the property until he's ready
To do that,
the tree
okay. Yeah, I mean, it
preservation.
sounds
Yeah.
great.
Accept donations
I mean,
slightly after.
But he'll go ahead and give us the easement, the trail easement now.
In the meantime.
But he
yeah.
wants a commitment that
Build
when
the
he
trail.
does ask,
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
wanted that reassurance.
That's kind of why we did a 3-year, because your all's terms are 3 years, so 3 of you would remember this.
You hope.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the rest of us will too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, how much of that trail do you have, either own or have easement on?
Yeah, a fair amount, actually. It's in, actually, a large amount of the University of Arkansas owns it, and they're working closely with it.
Okay.
Of course, super supportive of the trail. Part of it will be their intramural field, which I don't know if you saw in that.
Yeah.
They also own a lot of the around the Research Technology Park. City owns some property north of Cato Springs Road and south of Cato Springs Road. We've got several pieces.
Yeah, I was
And
looking.
then we already got the easements through the regional park area. The rest is HGD right away, and we went to Little Rock actually Friday, met with them, and that seems like it's gonna go pretty well to get
Okay.
across the interstate under all that
Perfect.
bridges and
Mhm.
everything.
Because it looks like there's trails to all of the university properties. I mean, just about at this point, so I can see why they would be.
Really connecting up, you see all the pink on this,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or university, yeah, they're
To
all
a lot
over
of
it.
them, like-
It just goes, it takes some time, it goes to
Sure.
board of trustees, they meet 4 times a year. so.
Okay.
But yeah, really all we've got is a few property
What's
owners right in
your-
here, and this is a big piece of it. This is a long stretch of.
Okay. How long of a stretch is it?
2 point, was it on there?
2.5 is what I thought it said.
2.5, that was 2.5 miles? Again, this is the
When's
green.
your timeline for beginning construction on the trail?
We'd like to start right about the beginning of 2016 is our plan. We would actually have bid documents ready to go. We have hired Garber Engineering
Okay.
to start the design. I think they are starting on design. We expect the permitting around here because of the interstate and everything to take quite a bit of time. We're getting a jump on that. As I mentioned, we went to meet with the housing department. Seems like it's going to go okay.
Yeah. Do you know about how long you think it'll take to finish it? You can get it done in 1 year?
Yeah, it's less than a year, I would think. Probably more than 6 months, though.
So you think by January 2017, that's finished?
Open. Yeah.
When's the regional part? When are we gonna cut the ribbon?
Oh,
Give us a ribbon date. What's the ribbon?
Ribbon day?
Oh.
We want to do that. We're planning on groundbreaking at the end of this year.
So the
14
trail-
to 16 months.
We'll have the trail before we have the park.
it's going to be pretty close.
All right.
Park then trail.
That's awesome.
And the trail can
Now-
still go to the mountain bike, facility.
Sure.
Yeah, still got Kessler.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. So what specifically do you want from us as far as a vote on this to?
We are recommending that you all approve to say that you will allow him to do a tree preservation, and if he will go on and give us an easement so we can build the trail, then we would be saying we will allow him to give us this property that will have tree preservation, which we didn't have any problems, because that's what we're gonna do with it
Yeah.
anyway.
Right.
It's kind of boggy land anyway.
Right.
Down there. And then that way we can go on and build the trail, number one. Number two, he knows what process he has to go through. And also then we have a deadline date. It's not forever.
So it's kind of.
I think it's a good deal for everyone.
Gesture kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happens if the property were to change hands during that time? We're gonna honor that for the new owner.
They usually do, don't they, Allison?
The tree preservation?
Uh-huh.
It would, I mean, if someone else buys it, it may be a completely different project coming through, so we just have to look at it.
Yeah, I'm just talking about if we,
But we would at
We'll
least
still have
have
the easement.
the easement. the
We'll still
trail
have
yeah, but
easement.
I'm saying our commitment to him, if something were to happen to him, and that trail's through there, and the easement's there, and then it changes hands, are we gonna do this for, the next person that owns that?
I think it still makes sense, don't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up, just in
Yeah.
case that scenario came about.
In that event, you might want to think about changing the motion so it's real squeaky clean, so. in 3 years, we'll know exactly, or 2 years, whatever.
If we're ready for a motion, I'll add that
Go for it.
to the motion.
Go for it.
So let me see if I can put that together. Motion to, what is this a motion to? Accept a donation of 7.03 acres of land as described as item 5 on our agenda, and add that that would also be available to a subsequent landowner should the property change hands during that time.
Second.
In the course of 3 years. Second, Melanie, can we go ahead and take roll?
Watson,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Maxwell,
Yes.
Lamb,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
McKnight,
Yes.
Profit.
Yes.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. You did an awesome job on that.
Get that trail built.
This is gonna be a lot better than going right up by the freeway, I think, and coming down that way.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it'll be along the creek corridor, like the trails that people love, like Skull Creek, and
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
separated trails are really what the public seems to prefer.
Yeah. All right, next up is an update of Fayetteville Tennis by Chris Cash.
Hi guys, I'm Chris Cash from Fayetteville Tennis. I'm basically going to kind of give you guys a rundown of what we are, what we've been doing since we started. The Arkansas Tennis Association is a governing body that pretty much does all tournament and league tennis in the state, and Northwest Arkansas is way behind compared to the rest of the state. I was at a private club and they said, would you guys want to do some public tennis programming? So we came to Allen, and starting November we got running, and thanks to the weather we started more April, as you guys probably know. So since we started in April, we have 118 kids and adults doing weekly lessons. Our biggest age is under the age of 14. We have about 99 players between the ages of 6 and 14 on the Wilson Park courts. Do you guys know about the 4 quick start courts that they put in? That's kind of our specialty. We had the largest junior team tennis 8 and under program in the southern section out of 8 states, and we dominated everyone at the state tournament in July. So thanks to those 4 courts, that was a lot of fun. We were featured in the Tennis Industry Magazine for our junior team tennis programming. That's national publication that goes out to about 200,000 people. So out of 8 states in the southern section, they decided to pick ours. So we've been very lucky with you guys' help.